Designer Notes Subject 56. There are very few things in design that are both subjective and crucial, like colors. A color palette can evoke either an emotional bliss or a profound disgust. Whole studies and theories were devised to make sense of how color works. Watches are no stranger to this mystery, and it's no more interesting to see than this one particular piece, the Oris Big Round Pointer Date Fratello Limited Edition. Oh, and it also helps to know that it has an equally interesting story behind it. It all started when Oris released the 80th anniversary pointer date in 2018. It's a very nice watch, and it hits the right marks for the contemporary taste. A desaturated green dial, a warm bronze case, and a pinch of red on the pointer makes this watch so appealing to the eyes. Watch fans gobbled it up. It was a hit. Mike Stockton, however, thought that there is still room for improvement. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us on Instagram at Design Atelier Aruba for behind-the-scenes content. Email us at designatelierviewer@gmail.com. Let's begin with the 80th anniversary pointer date's dimensions. The case diameter is 40 millimeters, with a thickness of 12 millimeters and 47 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. These dimensions are overall and large for our current preferences. As much as it's an homage to Oris' own original pointer date, many welcome these new dimensions. The feature here is, of course, the color combination used by Oris. One underrated thing about Oris is their use of colors on their watches. This is a clear demonstration of Oris' ability to sell you a watch based only on its colors. You are immediately drawn to the green dial of this watch. While many brands would have used a more vibrant green, Oris drew in a more subtle hue of the color, accented by white numerals and markers. By itself, it reminds you of felt materials used on pool and casino tables. But couple this with the bronze case, it takes on a whole new personality. It now evokes the vintage aesthetics of historic bronze timepieces, along with the big numerals of pilot watches. Where is this personality coming from? It's really coming from us. We remember what bronze watches used to be. We recall what an aviation watch would look like, and these colors brought out these familiar stories from our memories. To a person who does not have these memories or knowledge of history, it just looks like a watch with appealing colors. Here's where color comes in. Even if a person lacks the horological education, the watch is still visually interesting. This is because of a color theory known as split complementary colors. To understand these color theories, one must be familiar with the color wheel. This wheel contains the most basic tones of color. Complementary colors are, simply put, any two colors that are positioned opposite each other. A split complementary combination is when a base color is complemented with two opposing colors. Use one of these combinations, and you are mostly going to evoke a pleasant reaction from onlookers. The Oris pointer date does this with the main color of green with its complementary color bronze or orange. Even the red pointer plays along with this theory. By using red as an accent color and making it as vibrant as possible, it attracts attention enough while keeping in theme. This simple color theory attracted many eyes, including Mike Stockton, a columnist of Fratello magazine. In 2019, Mike bought the Oxblood version of the pointer date released in Baselworld. It's a steel-cased, red-dialed watch that ticks the right boxes for Mike. But for some reason, according to Mike, he wanted the bronze version of the watch. He blames it on the faux vintage incandescent light bulbs, dark wood tables, and the brown bottles of beer within the Oris booth. These things drove Mike to desiring warm, autumnal colors. So he asked Oris if it's going to be available in bronze as well. Oris kindly pointed out to the 80th anniversary version that we dissected earlier, and that's the closest that he would get back then. It was clear that the drive is there. Now Mike needs to make things happen. So Mike turned to the next realistic thing to do: watch modding. Mike sourced the 80th anniversary pointer date, and after a couple of months, he has all the ingredients to make his dream watch come true. With a competent watchmaker available, he transplanted the oxblood dial onto the 80th anniversary bronze case and hands. Now he has a one-of-a-kind maroon-dialed bronze pointer date. One of a kind until someone else drops $4,000 to make the same watch, of course. It's beautiful. It hits not just Mike's boxes this time, but also ours. Why? We go back to the color theory, but this time we're looking at harmonious colors. The theory is that colors that are next to each other are typically harmonious. Simply put, choose a color, and the tone lighter or darker to this color should be harmonious to it. The bronze and oxblood dial does this on Mike's twisted pointer date. Sometimes a great watch mod is done so elegantly that it not only looks like it came from the watch atelier of the brand, but it also attracts the attention of the company itself. So some way somehow, Oris and Fratello saw green in this bloody watch mod and decided to drive along with Mike. And this time, they're going to make the watch more unique than what Mike had originally intended it to be. The mini track is now also done in gilt instead of white from the oxblood dial. This now brings the track in harmony with the rest of the theme. This also lessens the white seen on the dial, making white a true accent and not the third primary color for the watch. To further emphasize this accent idea, the Oris brand, date numerals, and big round model designations are all done in bronze print. Fratello also suggested the anti-shock text under the big round name. This is a callback to older Oris pointer dates that used to sport the anti-shock words on the dial instead of automatic. Oris happily obliged. There were furious discussions of the details, which culminated with the Fratello engraving at the case back, along with the limited edition serial numbers. This watch is also packaged with gray leather and fabric straps that is adorned with appropriately branded metal buckles and rings. Colors are deeply emotional design aspects. Let's be honest here, if survival alone is the driving force for every human being, stripping away colors in creation itself will not hinder our ability to live. We will survive. But we are not designed to be merely surviving beings. We're driven with and sometimes by emotions. These emotions are amazingly triggered by colors. With color theory, designers and minds alike appeals to the stories we've learned in our life. When done correctly, like in Mike Stockton's Oris Big Round, we too can weave a colorful story of our own.